Hello everybody and welcome to this channel, RomeoMike Aviation. New channel, and this is my first video ever. What I'll be planning to do on this channel is mainly real-world flights, simulate them from gate to gate, because that's what I like to do, and that's what we'll be doing today, flying an Air Arabia flight out of their main hub, Sharjah Airport in the United Arab Emirates. I'm using payware scenery for this airport, as you can see here. I'll link to it in the description below. I'll be performing this flight for Air Arabia Virtual Airlines, which is a nice virtual airline if you like low-cost operations in the Middle East and beyond, up to Asia, Southeast Asia even, and also up to Europe and Eastern Africa. Very nice and interesting destinations, and very close to reality operations you have within that virtual airline. Lots of these pilots, or some at least, are real-world Air Arabia pilots, so also any questions during the operations, they will answer you and say how it's done in the real world according to Air Arabia's SOP. I'm not a real world Air Arabia pilot, so I'll try to be as close as possible to reality, but not 100%. Here it is, our Airbus A320 we'll be using today for a flight from Sharjah up to Basra in Iraq. Registration is Alpha 6 Alpha November Lima. An A320 Classic. I'm using the FENIX A320. A great add-on, study level, very realistic, so highly recommended. You probably know FENIX already, but I'll link to their website as well in the video description below. So let's go to the aircraft and get ready for departure. I'm flying on VATSIM today. Not sure if we'll have any ATC coverage. Just a couple of miles away from here is Dubai Airport. They have Dubai Tower online at the moment. Nothing in Sharjah, or also upper control is not online at this moment. This might change, I don't know, we'll see. If not, we can have a look at the procedures to use on VATSIM when no ATC is online, because they're always, I've just seen an aircraft departing from here, there's always traffic around, so even without ATC, VATSIM can be challenging, especially in a busy airspace like the Dubai airspace. Even on VATSIM, it's pretty busy here most of the time. So let's walk up here. First challenge of the day is to get this door opened. Oh, that was pretty easy, not a real challenge. Here's the cabin, beautiful livery. You can download these from Air Arabia Virtual once you're a member. They have the Discord channel, a great community. Let's open the cockpit door. I'm already sitting here, just my head is not there, and I'm using FS2 Crew, so I already have a co-pilot sitting here as well. And let's get seated. So here we are in the cockpit, ready to set the aircraft up. Just a quick check that the predictive wind shear system is off. The weather radar is off. and gear lever is down. Wipers are both set to off, and then I'll actually let my first officer, here he is, he looks a bit frightened. I'd be frightened if I'd be flying with myself. Start up the aircraft with FS2 crew. The first officer handles this. You just need to ask him. So let's ask him. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
Yeah, sunglasses very important, although it's not very sunny here. Dusty weather according to the ATIS, and cloudy as well, as you can see. So yeah, he turned the aircraft on. The batteries are on. We are on external power, which is great. I'll do my part of the job as well. I put the evacuation to captain. In some airlines, it's captain and purser can command the evacuation if necessary. I'll put it to captain. I'm not sure what the actual Air Arabia...
I'm out for the walk around.
Okay, you guys out for the walk around. What the Air Arabia SOP is. We put the CVR to ground control, so we're already recorded by the cockpit voice recorder when on the ground. It turns on automatically when you start the engines, but SOP wants to listen to our briefings as well, so that's why we already turn it on now, and we'll test it as well. You hear the beep, so that's a positive test. Crew oxygen. Strobe lights to auto, in case we forget them later on. Once we go toga, they will switch on themselves, but we will not forget them. Nav lights, we'll put them on system 1. No smoking to auto, and the emergency exit lights to arm. This is done the fuel pumps. I'll leave them off for now until after refueling. Very important in warm weather destinations. Outside temperature is 28°C here in Sharjah. Is to monitor the cabin temperature, and yeah, this might heat up. So what I recommend, especially here, let's turn the EFB on. I'll import the flight plan in the meantime from Sharjah to Basra. Scheduled departure time is 11:35. It's 11:06 now. We still have some time. The flight is more or less 2 hours. Scheduled arrival is actually 13:25 Zulu. I don't know why it shows our arrival with a delay. Maybe headwinds. Let's see that later, and let's try to be on time anyway. So yeah, what I was going to say is it's recommendable to have air conditioning, external air conditioning on these hot weather destinations, departure points. So I'll turn the packs off and the PCA on, and that should cool the cabin down a bit. You see the cockpit is now already at 27 degrees, which means that I am sweating right now. Okay, I hear a beep. That must be a GSX. They want to refuel us. It's not well synchronized since the latest update. Yeah, and that makes us talk about fuel as well, because that's what Debrief calculated as the fuel we need for our flight plan and up to our furthest diversion airports. I have 4 diversion airports planned. Weather in Basra is not very good today. alternating between fog, rain showers, and possible thunderstorms as well. So I want to take at least 1,000 kilogram for possible holding over Basra. 1,000 kilograms should give me approximately 30 minutes of holding time, and another 500 kilograms for a possible go-around in Basra. And if we burn that up, my plan is to divert to Kuwait, where the weather is slightly better, and Kuwait is the closest airport with good weather at this moment to Basra. So that means 1,500 kilograms of extra fuel. We burnt this up to 7,000 anyway, so that means 8,500 extra fuel. Or 1,500 extra fuel, and the total will be 8,500. That's set, and yeah, the synchronization with GSX for refueling. For passengers it kind of works, but for refueling it doesn't work very well, so I'll just input it manually here. Then in the sim the aircraft is fueled already, but yeah, GSX will pretend now that it starts refueling, or at least it should be. The airplane system is loading fuel, so that's good. That's working now. So that done, the first officer is out for the walk around. We've already started our cockpit preparation. Straight after refueling, I think I'll start the APU, which will help with cooling of the cabin as well. You see it's already going down the temperatures. I'll slide them down a bit here as well, the cockpit a bit more. It tends to get hotter than the cabin. So for the APU, it's important that we have the fire test already done, and we'll do it for the engines as well. Okay, FS2 crew, or let's say our first officer, already aligned the IRS. They are aligning at this moment, not aligned yet, but on the way. IRS align will be done in 2 minutes. We have a company message, which will be our preliminary load sheet, so that's good as well. We won't worry about the
I'm back.
MCP for the moment, but we'll have a look at our FMC and start setting up here. First, we will tell the airplane what we're doing today. Flight init, initial data request, and it should pull it directly from Debrief. First officer is back. He said no issues on the walk around, which is great as well. Let's turn his EFB on as well, just because it looks better. Not that I really look at it. So yeah, the flight plan is uploaded. Sharjah to Basra, and our first alternate is Kuwait. And the estimated time en route is 1 hour and 46 minutes. So that's great. We'll go to our flight plan, request it here as well. It will pull it from Debrief again. What we'll do here, so GSX will do the actual boarding process for us. We'll tell it load aircraft, and we'll select GSX boarding and refueling. Well, refueling is kind of done. Again, the synchronization is a bit confusing now because it doesn't do the refueling as far as I know, or as far as I experienced since the last updates. I don't remember if the problem started with the FENIX big update or the GSX big update. Both were very welcome updates, so I don't complain. So let's do GSX boarding only. Load fuel instantly. Well, it is loaded, so we just leave it like this. Okay, doors are open, so yeah, we can actually board. And we were working on our flight setup in the FMC. So yeah, it pulled it automatically from Debrief, which is great, nice and easy.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Flight number today is Alpha Bravo Yankee, which is Air Arabia 833. On this route, dispatch gave us a cost index of 14.
Departure checks completed.
And our cruising altitude today, the plan is to climb up to 38,000 feet. And yes, yeah, I said yes because I thought the flight attendant asked me if they can start boarding. Maybe I have to answer yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. So boarding starts now. Flight attendant is there. Also, since the last updates, they don't have the nice Air Arabia uniforms anymore, but a blue uniform. I don't know why. But that's not really a problem for me. I don't look at her that much. So yeah, flight level 380. Let's just put our EFB in front of us, which is great as well. It worked since the last FENIX update. It's great they have it on here. It takes some time to load, I think. Yeah, here it is. And we'll have a look at our flight plan to see if all the data is correct. At top of climb, which means flight level 380, we expect an outside temperature of minus 58 degrees. That's great. I'll have a look at the troposphere as well. 503, 464, 435. Yeah, I think we can leave that. We can maybe put it at 435. Very important, the outside temperature here, 28. It's still on standard here, 15 degrees, but let's put that to 28. The FMC only works great if it has good information. The wind we can upload directly from Debrief. History wind, no, that's not what I wanted. Apologies. Wind request. Okay. We'll upload it now. So that's the init page done. What's missing is our zero fuel weight and max zero fuel. For the block, we already know. I'll wait for that, for the final load sheet, because there's usually some changes. But the fuel we already have on board. We know what we're planning to take with us, and that's 8.5 tons, which is our block fuel. We can have a look at here as well. Our route reserve is 5%. Here it says 5 minutes. So I'll yeah, I think that we usually only use 3%. Let's see if that maybe gives a better indication. Uh, 0.2, maybe they want time there. I'm not sure. Trip fuel. We wait for that until we put our weights in, because I think it auto-populates some of these things. So in the meantime, we'll go directly to our flight plan. Expected departure today is from runway 30, real world according to flight radar. By the way, I'm flying in real weather and at real time as well. It's 11:17 UTC at this very moment, which is 15:17 local time in Sharjah, and the real scheduled flight Arabia A320 to Basra has a scheduled departure time of 11:35 UTC, which is 15:35 local time. Our departure route today will be the Rudder 3 Quebec. I think it's Romeo departure. I think this is still based on runway 12. But Rudder is our first waypoint, so yeah, for runway 32 it's the Rudder 2 Romeo departure. Winds are shifting between 12 and 32, that's why Debrief is not up to date when it comes to the runway. So I always have basically a latest look at flight radar to see what the real world is doing. And in the real world, at this very moment, runway 30 is in use, as well as in Dubai, as well as in Sharjah. Usually they change at the same time. So that's all in, runway 30, Rudder 2 Romeo departure. We'll insert that, and in Basra we have southern winds, so we expect the VOR approach for runway 14. Depending on the wind, I may change to the ILS, which gives us a lower minimum. Depending on the wind, if the wind allows it, we may have to change to the ILS 32 for a lower minimum, because visibility is low at times in Basra right now. If the visibility is good enough, we can use the VOR approach for runway 14. I'll insert that for the moment. So that's all done. Just have a look if everything looks good here. Okay, we have a flight plan discontinuity, which we'll leave there for the moment. And next is our secondary flight plan in case of an engine out. Secondary flight plan, we just copy the active. And we'll create a waypoint, which I'll just call engine out runway 30. I'll put it here. Unfortunately, in the FENIX A320 you can't store customized waypoints yet. But the engine out in Sharjah, if I'm not mistaken, is climbed to 1138 feet. Or 1118, and then turn direct heading 300. So I'll just put I'll actually put the endpoint of the runway, which is runway 12. And then bearing 300. And we'll stay on that heading for 25 miles. And then decide on returning to the airport in case we have an engine failure. So that waypoint is done. I'll store it. It's called Echo Oscar 30. And I'll put that into the flight plan now. Echo, let's make sure we are on the secondary flight plan. Echo Oscar 30. put that here. We'll change our destination as well to Sharjah, because in case of an engine failure, we will return to Sharjah. That's done as well. And in case we do return, we will return to the ILS runway 30. No star. And we'll enter the performance as well. And like this, we are ahead of the airplane. In case we have an engine failure, we'll be busy enough, but everything for returning to the airfield is already done. So we can really concentrate on flying and navigating the airport, the aircraft, obviously.
Hi guys, here is the load sheet for you.
So for the performance, I'll just input the weather information. For Sharjah, oops, I opened the table as well. Okay, Sharjah, QNH is 1012. Temperature is 28. Right now the winds are 200 at 12. Let's just update this to see if that's really the latest. Now it's not available. So yeah, we'll stay with what we have. Barrow, I know by heart, we should look at the chart, but I know that it's 313, the minimums. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I know the Boeing 737 much better than the Airbus. But I think for an engine out landing, we use full flaps. That's my guess. So, secondary flight plan is done, which is great. We are on advisory frequency for VATSIM. I'm just checking now, there is still no ATC online for us. And we know now that the QNH is 1012, so we'll put that in. Yeah, still no weather. Just to be sure that the weather hasn't changed too much, we can request the weather here as well. We go to our AOC menu, weather request. I'll ask for the METAR and the TAF, so we have some forecasts as well. For Sharjah, which is Oscar Mike Sierra Juliet. Sent. And if we then go to messages, we receive many load sheets. We can disregard them for now because I'm waiting for the final load sheet. Yeah, there is something wrong with the system. We can't get the weather for Sharjah right now. So, aircraft is loaded, apparently. Does GSX tell me the same? Boarding completed, yes. That's great. So, which means, was the last load sheet already the final one? Let's have a look. I think so. So we can actually do our takeoff performance. Yeah, doors are already closed. Nice. So sync latest weather, but he doesn't have the latest weather. And Optimum flaps, we don't force toga, we don't need anti-ice, we'll have a PAX off takeoff, that's the most efficient way of taking off. And our takeoff weight, well yeah, it's the final load sheet, so our takeoff weight is 64.3. And our Mach takeoff weight is 30.7%. We are departing from runway 30. We'll take an intersection departure. We don't need a full length, so I'll put that in. Bravo 14 intersection, and that gives me the right calculations. V1 and VR are 145. I'm sometimes quiet because I'm taking notes as well. It's always good to have it on a little piece of paper in front of you. I recommend you do the same. And V2 is 146, flexing at 67 degrees. And flaps config 1 plus F. We can send that to the MCDU. Like this, we have it directly here. It's all input, which is great. I'll put it on the briefing sheet as well. The weather here is acceptable, config 1 plus F takeoff. It still says runway 12, but it will be 30. Speeds are 145, 145, 146. Thrust reduction altitude is actually according to Air Arabia SOP and here in Sharjah 1600. Well, actually it says above ground level, so that would be more 1300. Radar is required, let's just say required, reduced thrust. We have the V speeds, flex is 67, that's correct. Transition altitude 13,000, which is correct. Pushback is required. We are at stand 15, we need pushback here. We have a remote stand, you see the terminal in front of us. Threats, we can keep that as complacency. Cruising altitude is 30,000 feet and takeoff is 30.7. So that's done. We'll have a PAX off takeoff, and according to Airbus best practices and Air Arabia company procedure, apparently from what I know and what I've read, we'll start engine 1 and then engine 2. Other companies operating the Airbus A320 also do start engine 2 first, but we'll stick to engine 1 first. So that's all done. Now it's time to have a look at the charts. And like this, we can do the briefing as well. Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
So, looking at the charts, we are at stand 15, which is here. We'll require a pushback facing north, which means nose to the left, tail to the right. And we'll taxi out of Zulu 10, then turn right via Alpha to Alpha 14. At Alpha 14, we'll turn left, cross Bravo to Bravo 14, and depart from runway 30, which is an intersection departure. And that really, we've calculated it, but you can see here that really gives us enough takeoff length. We have still from runway 30, Bravo 14 intersection, we still have 3,000 meters of runway to use for our departure, which is more than enough. Anyway, that's all calculated with our performance calculator. That's in the FMC. No problem there. Yeah, we are approaching our scheduled time of departure, but we need to finish the briefing. So that's the taxi on the runway. It will be a left seat takeoff, which is me. I'm the pilot flying. We'll advance the thrust levels to 50%, call stabilized, and we'll stop for any indication malfunction, strange noises, anything that seems wrong below 100 knots. After 100 knots and below V1, we'll only stop for an engine failure, any kind of fire, wind shear warning, or if we deem the aircraft unsafe to fly. And after V1, we'll take any problem into the air and perform the engine out sit, which is our secondary flight plan. So we'll switch to that if necessary. Assess the problem and then return to the airfield Sharjah. We are not overweight, so our landing weight will be just fine to return straight here. If all goes well, we'll follow the SIT, which is the read up. Yeah, we still have the 3 Quebec departure, so we'll take the correct chart for the read up 3 Romeo departure. The read up 3 Romeo departure lets us climb straight ahead to 2,000 feet. That's stop altitude as well. We need to stay below 2,000 feet until Sierra Juliet 597. Let's have a look if the flight plan has the speed restriction of 220 knots and the hard stop altitude inside. That's correct. We'll then continue to Sierra Juliet 594, and there we need to be above 6,000 feet. No more speed restrictions, except the 250 below flight level 100, which we always use. We'll continue to Orlat, 12 miles, track 232. 11 miles, yeah, it's 11.3 actually. And from Orlat, we'll continue to Kiksock. Again, 11 miles, 10.8, Kiksock. And from Kiksock, we'll continue to Riedap, and that's all in the flight plan. From there, we'll navigate as our route as filed. Initial climb clearance is 2,000 feet. Further climb instructed by Dubai Departures. ATC is not online, so we'll just adhere to all speed and altitude restrictions because there may be other traffic out of Dubai, and if we all stick to our SIT, then we should all be safe and fine. We'll have a close watch at our TCAS as well. Squawk 2000 is mainly used for the ground, so we don't have ATC. I don't have another squawk, so I'll just put something else in. So if ATC is online later or anybody else watching us, they know that we are not planning to stay at the gate much longer. That's the departure route. And that concludes as well the departure briefing. Major threat today, I would say, I think we have a crosswind departure, and also the traffic out of Dubai is a threat. Minimum safe altitude, 3,800 feet on the site. We'll be taking our departure. To the right, it's a little bit lower, 2,900. But anyway, once we're out, and should we have any problems, we're over the water, so we should be safe there. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, that's the brief completed. Okay, the doors are already closed, which is great. I will turn our APU on. It's about time. We'll wait till that becomes available. And let's have a look at the APU. Okay, with the APU available, we still will wait a couple of minutes before we'll turn on the actual bleed. We are refueled, so these heat belts can go on. Fuel pumps can go on. And I'll just make sure the right maps here are start, so we find them back quicker if we need them. Lead up to Romeo is this one. I had a final check on flight radar. There we have some weather information, and the wind is still 210 at 12. The QNH now says 1013, so we'll change that. And it looks like runway 30 is still in use. So 1013. I synced both QNH, so my first officer doesn't have to change it on his side. Or to be truthful, he wouldn't, so I don't have to change it for him. And yeah, everything looks good. I started the chrono a bit late, so I think like at 2 minutes we can start the APU bleed and do our before start checklist. This would be a good moment to do PA as well, and close the cockpit door, of course. Why a PA is so important? It is, sorry, I just was trying to put that table away. It is important for several reasons. Actually, main one reason, and not every airline has this in their SOP, and not every airline does it. I don't know if Air Arabia does it, But a very important reason is basically that the passengers need to know the voice of the captain. The voice of the captain is the voice that will tell them to evacuate if anything goes wrong during the departure. And yes, if they recognize the captain's voice saying evacuate, 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 well, they will know this is serious. It's the captain asking us to evacuate. And it can be a short PA, like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Air Arabia flight to Basra. All the doors are closed. We are ready for departure, which means an on-time departure, just a couple of minutes late, which we will get back once in the air. And once in the air, I'll be back to you with more updated information for Basra. I already can tell you the weather is not too good, with some rain, low visibility, and possible thunderstorms throughout the day. In the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy your flight. And that would be the PA done. So we can turn the APU bleed on, the packs on, and everything is set and ready. So let's do the before start checklist. Maybe I have to look him into the eyes. Before start checklist. He still doesn't hear it. Before start checklist. Okay, sometimes it works very good, and sometimes voice control does not work very good. Or maybe I don't say it the right way. Before start checklist. Now it worked. The parking brake is set.
Takeoff speed and thrust.
V1 145, VR 145, V2 146, flexing 67 degrees.
V1 145, VR 145, V2 146, flex temp 67 degrees, windows.
Closed.
Beacon.
And let's turn the beacon on. And one very important thing, oops, where's my FFC? One important thing we forgot is our weights. We could have entered them afterwards as well, but it's SOP to do it before. So let's do it before. Let's go back to our load sheet. Here's our final load sheet. Zero fuel weight is 56 tons. Oops. 56 tons. And our Mach zero fuel is 33.2. 33.2. So yeah, that's in there. We are running late now, but never push yourself to be fast. Safe is always better than having some delay. It doesn't really matter as long as you're safe. Second, of course, is efficiency and being on time, but safety first. So I just want to have a final check here. Because garbage in, garbage out, it's important that we have the right information in the FMC. Yeah, trip, we could actually put there 4.2. But that doesn't work. 0146. No, this one here. No, he doesn't want to do that. Okay. The route reserve is 0.2 actually. And alternate 26 minutes. It's within 1 minute difference. We can leave that. And final reserve is correct. Okay, so the beacon is on. We can push back now. We'll announce this on Unicom as there is no ATC. Sharjah traffic, Arabia 833, stand 15, push and start facing north, Sharjah traffic. Okay, so continue to push back. Facing north is nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
And here we go. Release parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check.
Okay, we'll just wait until our wing is a bit more out of the parking zone, and that's the case right now. So starting engine 1. Usually I get a reply from the first officer, but he didn't reply to that. I think I didn't finish the set and checked.
Before start checklist completed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we are about to
The beacon
demonstrate safety features
was probably
of
that.
Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you.
I turned it on, but I didn't reply to my first officer. And engine number 1 is spooling up, which is great. EGT is rising. So is N2. Fuel flow.
سيداتي وسادتي، من أجل سلامتكم نرجو من حضراتكم الانتباه بينما يقوم
We'll set the
أفراد
parking brakes. Pushback is completed.
Information for a good engine
على
start.
مثل هذه الطائرة.
Your seatbelt must be securely fastened when you are seated. Insert the flap tip into the buckle and pull the strap. To unfasten, just lift the buckle.
لربط الحزام بإحكام أدخل القطعة المعدنية
Okay, engine 1 is okay.
الحزام.
Starting engine 2.
الحزام ارفع غطاء المشبك.
If oxygen masks drop down
Starting engine 2.
towards you,
Okay.
place it over your nose and mouth. Adjust the elastic bands and breathe.
And there goes engine 2.
Remember, secure your own mask before assisting others.
في حال نزول كمامات الأكسجين اسحبها باتجاهك ثم ضعها فوق أنفك وفمك. اسحب الشريط المطاطي وتنفس
The engine start in the Airbus is a silent procedure. It's not like in a Boeing,
ثم قم بمساعدة الآخرين.
where you have to closely monitor everything. It's pretty much automated, as far as I've been told. Again, I know the
Around your waist.
Boeing
Securely.
737 at least much better than the Airbus.
Tabs.
But
Life jacket can
if you know
also
better,
be
let me know in the comments.
into the red tube.
And again, I'm not a real Airbus pilot,
Until instructed.
so if you are or if you know more, anything I do wrong, let me know.
تحت انتقالك. عندما يطلب منك طاقم
I hope some new simmers
يدعوك
or people new to the FENIX A320 can learn something from me, but I also hope that I can learn something from you. That's why we are all here. We want to learn and get better at what we're doing. So yeah, we have a good engine start. We can tell the ground crew.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
We can turn off the APU.
Will now point out the nearest emergency exits to you.
يوجد 8 مخارج على هذه الطائرة. كل المخارج مزودة.
Put this to performance and to
سوف يشير أفراد الطاقم
the flight plan.
Emergency path lighting has been placed on the floor to guide you to the nearest exit.
And then we're ready for the after start checklist. After start checklist.
Unlocking gear.
Before takeoff.
سوف ترشدك أضواء الطوارئ.
I forgot, I have to look him into the eyes. After start checklist.
مخرج نجاة. قبل الإقلاع يوجد
One last try. After start checklist.
والوجود في جيب المقعد الذي أمامكم.
Two drops disconnected.
After start checklist. Now.
Yes.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
يجب إطفاء جميع
Off.
في المحمولة
ECAM status.
ويجب عدم تشغيلها إلى حين هبوط الطائرة.
Checked.
فيها تمام.
Pitch trim.
Smoking and drinking alcohol are
30% set.
and
Rudder trim.
toilets are equipped with smoke detectors. Thank you for your attention, and we wish
Neutral.
you a pleasant flight.
After start checklist completed.
التدخين والمشروبات الكحولية ممنوعة في كافة
Okay, we just wait until this guy is gone. He's waving.
المياه مزودة بأجهزة كاشفة للدخان. نود أن نشكركم على انتباهكم ونتمنى لكم رحلة
Have a look on the left, everything looks clear. On the right too. Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Release the parking brake and we can taxi. Yeah, I've been flying a lot out of Sharjah lately, and it's not often I see these kind of heavier, almost overcast clouds here in Sharjah. Interesting. Not very good visibility either, and that apparently is dust to the 80s. Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Perfect. Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Flight controls check.
Ready.
He doesn't do it.
Full up.
Ah, okay.
Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
I was a bit fast before. You really have to check that they go into this little white slot here. First officer already calls out full up or full left before it's actually in the slot, but you really have to check that it's in the slot. And obviously we have to check the rudder as well. Rudder. My rudder doesn't work. I have an issue with my rudder. So yeah, not sure what that is about. At least my nose steering works, but we need to get that rudder fixed before we depart. So I'll just go to Bravo 14, because I will have to stand still for a bit, not to disturb anybody. Very strange, not sure what's going on. This is Bravo 14, we go to the left here for our intersection departure. And it still says brake.
stand echo 5, commencing push and start.
I think that was in Dubai, that traffic. Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Okay, my brakes on the pedals work. But I don't know why my pedals don't work. So, I may have one idea. Okay, so rudder problem is still not fixed, so I'll try to take off using the tiller, which is not a great idea. And see if it fixes itself once in the air, because the brake works. I don't know if GSX is part of the issue. All the controls are connected. And even through the keyboard I can't use the rudders, so not sure what's going on. So the flight controls check is not completed according to FS2 crew. Let's see if I can pull the checklist anyway. Taxi checklist. Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Cleared for departure.
Takeoff runway confirmed. Approach path clear of traffic. Cabin crew be seated for takeoff.
Sharjah traffic, Rabia 833, line up and take off runway 30, Sharjah. Line up checklist.
Takeoff runway.
30 confirmed.
Runway 30 confirmed. TCAS.
TARA.
PAX 1 and 2.
Off.
Lineup checklist completed.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Very strange. I never had this rudder pedal problem. And the pedals work. It's really the rudder which does not work. because even with the keyboard or the joystick I can't move the rudder. But the brakes, as you can see, work with the pedals. So, let's see what happens. Takeoff.
Check.
Okay, up to 50%. Let's stabilize. Let's reset the chrono. Stable. Man flex runway SRS, auto thrust blue.
Checked. Thrust set. .100 knots.
Fact.
V1 rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Yeah, very difficult to take off without pedals. But at least I stayed on the runway. Okay, watch our stop altitude of 2,000 feet. Flaps up. Flaps 0.
Packs on. Speed checked. 1,000 to go. Flap 0.
So we overshot our stop altitude already. Still distracted with the pedals. They still don't work. Yeah, our speed is way too fast. Speed limit exceeded. I still not climbed. That explains it. Okay, the speed is correcting. That happens when you're distracted. We overshot our stop altitude as well. I see nothing in the way, so I'll just turn the altitude up and I go to the next waypoint. So we don't have that restriction anymore. Direct 2. Our speed is back to normal and we're climbing away. We're not climbing away yet. Manage. Okay, sorry about that. Not a nice departure for a first one, but I blame it on the rudder pedal distraction. So yeah, landing without pedals is not something I want to do. So let's see how we will handle that. Our next restriction above 6,000 feet, which we are already. We're planning to continue to climb into the flight level so we can set standard.
Standard, cross-check. Passing flight level 087. Now.
Checked. Yeah, if you have any ideas what could be wrong with the pedals, let me know in the comments. Hopefully by then I will have solved it already anyway. But again, yeah, the pedal brakes work, so the hardware seems to be working and connected. The rudder pedals, which I also have on my joystick, do not work, and even using the keyboard it does not work. So it's really something with the rudder itself. Is there anything failed? No. So we passed 10,000 feet. Clear RADNAV. Clear RADNAV.
Okay.
And we'll turn the seatbelts off. Ah, my rudders work again. Well, this is strange. Again, if you guys have any idea what happened, let me know, but I'm happy that my rudders are back because I can't do a bad weather landing in Basra without rudders. Master, brakes hot. Brakes hot. How did that happen? Okay, let's have a look as well as what to do if your brakes are hot. Maximum speed to 50 or 0.6, and then landing gear down for cool, minimum speed to 20. Would it be allowed to turn the brake fans on? Maybe not, because that could be a fire warning. It's just one brake here. I wonder if I have some failure that was connected to the rudder pedals. I suppose it will cool down by itself as well. It must have been this bad takeoff roll which caused that. Interesting failure. temperature is still going up. So we'll stop our climb for now. 23,000 feet. Reduce speed to 240. And we'll basically follow this here. Maximum speed 240, landing gear down for cool. So yeah, maximum gear extension altitude for the Airbus A320 seems to be 25,000 feet. We are still below that. Speed is in an allowable range now. So I'll put the gear down. And let's see if that helps. Yeah, first video ever on this channel, and the weirdest flight and issues I've ever had. First those pedals, and then the brake temperature. Nothing much happening in terms of temperature. It dropped now, didn't it? We have traffic somewhere here. Yeah, temperature is dropping. That's good. I'm okay with yeah, this problem because there is a checklist, and that checklist seems to work. Yeah, the rudder pedals, that was the strange thing. I still haven't got a clue what that was about. Again, if you know, let me know. I'm very curious. Okay, temperature is dropping. We'll let that drop. While it drops, we can already continue our climb to the maximum gear extension altitude, which is 25,000 feet. And very good, very good. No more indication. Just a final check here. Wheel. The whole right side is very, very hot. I really don't know how that happened. Again, must have been that tiller takeoff roll I did, which I only did because it's a sim. Obviously, in the real Airbus, if your rudders don't work, you don't take off. So yeah, I'll put the gear back up. And we'll continue our climb to 380. Let's see if it continues to drop. 240, great. $235, that's fantastic. So yeah, if you're looking for a virtual airline and you'd like to fly to places in the Middle East, in India, places you've never been to, they really have a lot of destinations, Air Arabia. I really recommend Air Arabia Virtual Airlines. What happened to me here today, I'll also ask in that group. They have a Discord group where you can ask these kind of questions. Maybe some of them know what happened. And Sharjah as well is a nice place to fly out. It sits next to Dubai, but has its own identity, its own pace. And for aviation, it's a very interesting place because it's, I compare it a bit to London Stansted of the Middle East. It's this low-cost regional hub in the Middle East, and not so regional anymore as Air Arabia are getting more and more NEOs, especially the A321 NEOs, which fly all the way down to Southeast Asia, Phuket, Bangkok, but also up to Europe, up to Gatwick, starting in February, I think. So yeah, a great airline with a lot of diverse routes, and the fleet consisting of the classic A320s and 21s as well as the NEOs. And our destination, Basra, is Iraq's southern gateway, tied to the Shatt al-Arab waterway and the port economy. A place where geography really matters. They have a lot of problems with drought. Especially the agricultural sector in Basra has a lot of problems with that. In terms of economy, there's a lot of oil in that area as well, so that's very important as well. And Basra Airport is an international airport, a military base as well. Long runway, so big airplanes can land there as well. And I think it's the second or third biggest airport in Iraq, so it's an important airport for the region as well. And today, with the challenge of the weather, and that's why we planned this extra fuel, which is good. So we're safe. We needed some extra fuel now as well because we extended our gear for some time. Temperature is really nicely down now. Still strange stuff. What happened? So let's see what will happen. We can actually have a look at the weather in Basra right now, while we continue to climb out. Yeah, no, I'm trying to open the EFB, but also that doesn't work. So let's just have a look on here. The weather. Let's refresh that. So, still southern winds, well, more eastern than southern. 120 at 5 knots. So runway 14 is still suitable. 5,000, not too bad. Scattered clouds at 3,000. So at this moment I don't see any issues with landing, even using the VOR approach in Basra. Let's have a look at the charts. So VOR DME. Minimums for that approach are 390, which is fine. We'll probably come in via Woget as well, Woget. Fly the arc and then intercept the VOR approach. So let's see what our last waypoint is. Yeah, they're expecting us here on a 3-2. There is a waypoint here, but that's maybe... Yeah, let's go from Tasmi direct to Woget. So Tasmi. And then Woget. I think that looks good. There's Tasmi here. Insert. We can look on the plan how that looks. Yeah, that looks like a sensible approach with a downwind base leg. And then fly the VOR approach. Basra VOR 112.3. And we'll have a look at the approach briefing once we're closer to destination. For now, as we're approaching cruising altitude, I'll stop the recording for a bit, and I will be back with you for the approach briefing. So we're still in the cruise. Let's see our progress page. 250 nautical miles from our destination at this very moment. Yeah, we are late due to the eventful departure we had. The pedals not working, me trying to fix it, that caused some delay. Our climb was slowed down as well, because we had to extend our gear below flight level 250 to have it cooled down. Again, still not sure what happened. For the moment everything looks normal, and during the normal phase of cruise what we're looking for is weather at possible alternates if something goes wrong again and we need to divert, so we already have a picture where to go. And we're looking at our fuel, of course, as well. We have a very strong headwind today, which slows the flight even further down. And very important, we keep an eye on the weather in Basra, which is not very good, so we can anticipate what we do, see if maybe with the wind we could use the ILS for runway 32, or if it still looks good to do the VOR approach to ILS to runway 14. So let's do that right now. Update the weather again in Basra. And at this moment the weather still looks good. bear in mind with hazy conditions, we're landing in a sunset due to our delay. That usually does not improve the visibility either. But well, it will be into a southeastern direction. At least we don't have the sun in our face. So everything looks good. We can start doing our arrival briefing, which we usually do at around 200 nautical miles from our top of descent. For this, we will give the control to our first officer. You have control.
I have control.
And yeah, I like to use FS2 crew. Why do I like to use it? Because it gives the usual cockpit routine. It trains a bit on procedures, on what to say, in which phase of flight, on running the checklists as you should do, on doing the briefings, because we have to do a briefing now. And at the end, it's a two-man cockpit, the A320, and this first officer doesn't do everything he should do, but he does some parts of it, which is comes in handy if you're trying to fly a big airliner alone on the sim. So without further ado, let's do the approach briefing. Are you ready for the approach briefing? I don't know if it's because I'm recording, but everything that usually works smooth as butter does not work today. Yeah, he looks at me, maybe I should ask it now. Are you ready for the approach briefing? Are you ready for the approach briefing?
Go ahead.
Finally. So, we'll put the weather as marginal, although it's not too bad at this very moment, but just to be prepared. It will be a non-precision approach. It won't be the final sector because I'll be flying back to Sharjah straight after. Threats is the weather. And let's have a look at our minimums. It was 390, if I remember correctly. So minimums for runway 14 390, which is 379 above the ground. And that makes sense with the airport elevation being at 11 feet. We won't do an autoland, obviously, with a non-precision approach, but we'll try to do some part of the taxi in as a single engine. Just be careful, it will be a short taxi, and the engines need to cool down before we shut them down. So yeah, we'll save that. So for the briefing, there is no star. We'll fly direct to Wogat and from there intercept the VOR approach into runway 14. Descent angle is normal, 3 degrees. Platform altitude of 3000 will go down to 1900, so that's the platform altitude. Continue our descent, and if we don't see the runway by 390 feet, we'll go around. And the go around is to climb to 3,000 feet towards the VOR, which is not on the airport, but on our way out of runway 14. And on the VOR, we'll turn right to intercept the 244 radial to Boget and hold there or do a new approach. And if we find the new approach as not doable, we'll divert straight away to Kuwait. We can put this into our second flight plan. Maybe get the weather for Kuwait as well. Kuwait is Oscar triple kilo. Let's just get the matter for now. So, are we getting the weather? Yes, we have the weather for Kuwait. So that the weather is just fine, with winds from 260 degrees. And that means in Kuwait they'll be landing on a 3-4 or 3-3 is my guess. And then always or often flight radar is your friend, especially if you're flying on VATSIM, because well, on VATSIM you have other traffic, and the only way to not disturb other VATSIM pilots is well, to stick to set approach procedures, runway directions, and as we're all simulating the real world, we should, and flying in real world weather as well, we should look at the what the planes are doing in the real world as well. So I've had a look at VATSIM, and traffic seems to land, and there would be a long taxi on runway 16. Okay, that's not what I expected. So yeah, it's always good to have a look on VATSIM. So runway 16 would be what we'll do. So we go to the secondary flight plan. We'll have a look at our briefing pages. And for Kuwait, we'll fly direct to, so we'll copy the active flight plan. We go to Basra. The go-around procedure is go to Woget, then hold at Woget, where we will reassess. And if we decide to divert, we will fly direct to Sidat, Not allowed, maybe here. New destination will then be Kuwait. And in Kuwait, we will plan for the ILS runway 16 and do the C.1 Golf arrival. So that's set. Like this, we are ahead of the airplane again. Should we end up in a stressful situation in Basra where we have to go around, decide to divert, or we just can go to the secondary flight plan, activate it, fly direct CDAT, it's all programmed, and do the C.1 Golf arrival and fly into 16. Of course, one last verification if that runway and this arrival is still active. So that's done. Secondary flight plan done. We check our progress once more. Performance. Top of the stand still 170 miles out. The sun is setting as promised. So that's for the briefing for the arrival, the approach. Non-precision approach is a threat as such, but terrain is no issue there. And again, the weather looks pretty good for the moment. We'll go back to our charts, have another look at our VOR DME approach. The transition altitude is pretty high, 14,000 feet. Well, pretty high for my European mind. If you're American, that's low. Transition level 160. And that's basically all we need to know for our arrival into Basra. Then on the ground, we have a nice long runway. So no issues there. We hope to exit via taxiway Bravo to the main apron and then park somewhere here. There is no parking chart, so that's all we have. We'll have to look on the ground how they want us to park here in Basra. Spiral climbs, that's still from the wartime, I think, but not permitted anymore. Distance 150 miles, we're good. So, yeah, for the airport, I don't see any problems. Very long runway. It will be auto brake low for sure. It will also be a landing flap 3 landing, and we'll do a performance calculation just to be sure, and so we can actually hit that taxiway, which was just after the center of the runway. We expect to arrive in Basra with 4.3 tons of fuel. Our fuel weight is 56. Zero fuel weight is 56 tons. So our landing weight, if I'm correct, should be 60.3 tons. So go to our performance calculator. Apply METAR. Very light winds, that's good. Would have been good if we still wouldn't have pedals. I hope I keep my pedals till landing. Runway 14 is what we are planning for. Runway, I'll put it as good. I don't know if there has been a rain shower or not just before we landed. There's no guarantee the weather will stay as good as it is right now. We said landing weight is 60.3 tons. Auto brake low. Idle or no reverse, that's what we'll try. We'll see what that gives us. Manual landing, flap 3, and we'll leave the auto throttle on. We had enough stress today. We have no malfunctions at this very moment. So yeah, we don't get any results. Why is that? Okay, we don't get any results. Today is a strange flight. And what's happening now? We lost our EFB as well. Okay, there we go again. Give it one more try. Runway 14, apply METAR. 60.3, now it works. There's definitely something strange or weird going on with, I think with my PC in general. It may be that, it may not be the same. Low auto brake is what we said. Idle, reverse, manual landing, flaps 3, auto throttle on. That makes us stop before the middle of the runway, which means we can take that preferred taxiway Bravo. So that's done. And if I'm not wrong, that concludes the approach briefing. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. And I have control.
You have control.
So yeah, Basra, I also have a add-on scenery. First time I'll be landing on that scenery. Hopefully nothing goes wrong with that scenery now, but it'll be nice to see. The scheduled time of arrival in Basra was 13:35, which is in 17 minutes. Obviously we're late. 13:35 Basra is 1 hour earlier than Sharjah. So local time, that's 16:35. As I said, more or less sunset time. Sunset in Basra is at 16:50 local. Yeah, we are late. We actually start our top of descent. We start our descent at the moment that we should have been landing there. And so we hope to be on the ground by 1600. Correction, 1700 local time, which is 1400 UTC. So yeah, you see, it's always important to be ahead of the flight. Do your planning, your briefing as early as possible and as much as you can. So not only the landing, but also what we could do now is to at least have a look at the ILS in case we can't use runway 14 for landing. due to visibility and if the wind allows. Okay, I've actually probably done a reset to the flight book. So, well, the flight is still here. I don't want to re-import now because that would probably give me the return flight. No, it's back. It's maybe because I'm running this OBS recorder in the background that some things are a bit off today on my sim. So yeah, the ILS is pretty straightforward. If we go around on 1-4, fly to Wogat, and then decide to do the ILS 3-2, we could actually set it up as an arc to intercept it from Wogat again. So that's pretty good. Minimums are way lower, so much bigger chance of being able to land. 225 for the minimums, and go around is a left turn, climbing to 3,000 feet and to Wogat again on the same radial, so easy to remember, 244. Which is the same radial as here. So like this, we already have a mental picture of what to do when things don't go as planned. Always nice to have a look from the outside as well. This is our plane, the Alpha 6 Alpha November Lima of Air Arabia. Flying in the Middle East at sunset. So yeah, I highly recommend FS2 Crew because it adds to the immersion and it trains you pretty well to use the standard procedures you should be using on an A320 in this case, but you have FS2 Crew as well for the PMDG 777 or the airplane I know best, which is the 737 of PMDG. They also have it for the iFly. I prefer PMDG, and that's why I'm flying the Airbus right now, because yeah, PMDG 737s don't exist yet for MSFS 2424, but release is anytime now. So I'm looking forward to do some flights as well, again on the PMDG 737, and I'll be showing you these flights here as well. Let's increase some lighting. It's getting dark. And with the approach briefing done, the arrival discussed, I'll fast forward a bit for you. I won't fast forward, but turn the recording off for a bit, and then be back when we actually start the descent into Basra. So we are about to reach our top of descent. So we'll enter the destination data. I could have done that earlier, but still a good time to do that. Let's have a look at the weather again. Oh, great. So I'll just take it from flight radar for now. And flight radar gives us a QNH of 1012. Temperature of 17. And winds 120 at 5. So no changes basically, which is good. And our minimums, Barrow 390, and we are planning for flap 3 landing, and that's set up here as well, which is great. Auto brake low is armed, and we've reached our top-off descent in the meantime. Platform altitude was 1,900 feet. There is no ATC. Tehran Center in Iran is online. Yeah, and we'll do our descent on Unicom. Well prepared. Sunset. I would have liked to show you Basra Airport in daylight. Maybe there still will be a glimpse of daylight by the time we arrive, but nevertheless, sunsets are always beautiful as well. The autopilot already put the seatbelts to on. It's setting in FS2 crew that he does that once you're at the top of descent. Yeah, again, I'll link to FS2 crew, but yeah, you can just Google it. It's easy to find, and it's an add-on I really recommend in case you don't have it. So yeah, in Basra we have a long runway. The only challenge today may be the weather, but again, it looks pretty good. We have enough fuel to hold, to do a missed approach, or to divert if things turn ugly. Bad weather is where actually you need to be boring and disciplined. Look at your stable approach criteria. Do small corrections, and if it's not stable, just go around. cloudy. We expected that, but we still can see the ground, so it looks better than expected. We can go to constraints. Although there is no star, so there are no real constraints on this approach. Yeah, my wheels look good now. It's still strange to have this big temperature difference between my left and right side landing gear. Low auto brake. Try to remember to put the brake fans on once we landed. Yeah, a handy tip from the virtual airline I'm flying for right now, Air Arabia Virtual, well, is to have your checklists just as your background image on your EFB, like this. You always have them handy next to you, which is great. So yeah, let's see if... well, this virtual airline uses Pegasus from VATSIM as your flight tracker, and that's why it's also nice to fly for a virtual airline, because you get all the data of your flight, so as your landing performance. With the latest update of Pegasus, not only the landing performance in terms of landing rate in feet per minute, but also in G-force, which is actually used in the real world much more than feet per minute. I think the limit is 2 point something G, and that would be like really a hard landing that requires maintenance. And with feet per minute, sometimes you have these hard landings, but then if you look at the G-force, you're still within the limit of not needing maintenance, or not having maintenance to look after the structure of your plane. He's keeping an eye on things as well, which is always good. 4 eyes are better than 2. We already have Basra here on our display, approaching Tasmi. Yes, this is a new channel. Again, it's about sharing my love for aviation, of course. For simming as well. And for simulating actual real-world flights and real-world procedures of the different airplane types. You will see me fly the A320, definitely as well the 737 of PMGG once it's released, and this will be any moment for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'll be looking into the 777 as well of PMDG. I like PMDG. I like FENIX as well, but just saying. Maybe the ENI builds 350, but I'm really into high fidelity study level aircraft, and some GA as well. I own the Aerostar of A2A. Great plane to do some GA flying. I'll be showing that off on here as well pretty soon. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe to the channel. That motivates me as well to keep going. I know there's already a lot of channels out there, a lot of good ones as well. And I'll let you know in one of the upcoming videos which ones I follow, where I learned something. And I think that's the point of all these channels. Everybody explains things in a different way, and that's how you learn different things or look at things from different angles. And again, I'm a seasoned simmer, but not very experienced on the Airbus, so anything I did wrong here and you knew better, especially if you're a real-world Airbus driver, feel free to let me know in the comments. It is a great community, the flight simming community. People from all over the world having the same hobby. Flying over a planet where in this simulated world there is no war. I can still fly to Russia or Ukraine as a Western pilot, and Russian pilots still fly to Europe. And there you can see that politics is one thing, but human beings are basically all the same everywhere, and flight simmers enjoy the same thing everywhere. So that's really great. It's also nice to take your satisfaction out of doing a good landing or doing a go around when you need to, instead of shooting some things down. Plenty of games for that as well, but yeah, I enjoy this more. And so we're approaching our transition level. We'll set the QNH to local 1012.
One 1012 set, passing 15,400. Now.
Yeah, I noticed I didn't have the weather radar. It's on now, but I don't see weather. That's probably good. And I have the terrain on the first officer's display, but terrain shouldn't be an issue here. And again, the weather looks pretty good actually. Basra should be right here somewhere. We're still a bit high, but I think we can do the approach checklist. Approach checklist. Wow, you understood me. First try. 1012 set.
1012 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
390 feet set.
Auto brake.
Low armed.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Obviously you always have to look before you answer, but yeah, it's all set correctly. $14 miles from Basra VOR, just to the right now. We're hitting some clouds. We Could actually put the engine anti-ice on. A bit late, but better late than never. Visible moisture below 10 degrees. True outside temperature, anti-ice on. Engine anti-ice on. The wing anti-ice basically, for the engines it's an anti-ice, as written here. It's a bit confusing because the wing actually is de-ice, so the engines you put on as anti-ice, meaning to prevent icing, and the wing you put on as de-icing. Basically, once you have ice, to remove the ice from your wings, then only you put the wing anti-ice on. And if this tool here has ice built up, that means that you probably, most definitely, also have ice on your wings. You can see it also if you have ice built up on your wipers. Well, then you would put the wing anti-ice on. And that's why you have this ice indicator light, a light which illuminates this, so you can clearly see at night if you have problems with ice. Yeah, personally, I think landings are the most beautiful part of any flight. Especially now with apparently no traffic around, the weather okay, everything nicely set up, so we can enjoy the scenery a bit too. We're on that famous arc now already. On profile. Plenty of fuel. VLS is 137. +5 is 142. Activate approach phase. Yeah, to this he doesn't answer, but I can see here that he took it, and normally I think he turned it on. Yeah. Okay, true outside temperature is 11. We can turn the anti-ice off. Enjoy some of the scenery while there is still some daylight. And yeah, our return today will be dark, but which is nice too, since the last sim update 4. Night lighting has very much improved. Instead of all the ground around the cities being lightened, it looks much more realistic now. Okay, last turn into final. The weather really seems to be acceptable. No problems at all so far. One more time, you go around, climb to the VOR, turn right, radial 244 to Voget. And then I'll put the ground shot on. Yeah, go around altitude, not to forget 3,000 feet. I'll put the ground shot on. So it's easier for me to look afterwards where we are. I want to get Bravo to the terminal. Okay, 12 miles from touchdown, 3,000 feet, perfectly on profile, 3 degree.
1,000 to go.
Checked. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Oops, that's
alive.
close to the limit. Yeah, we need some speed brakes. Pretty fast. And we are pretty close already. We want to go to flaps 2 pretty soon, because we're getting close, 8 miles. Okay, speed check flaps 2, flaps 2. Flaps 2.
Speed check. Flaps 2.
You better listen while we're on approach. Okay, we can turn the speed brakes off and gear down. Gear down.
Gear down. 1,000. Cabin crew, be seated for landing.
Manual flight.
Check.
Flaps 3.
Speed check. Flaps 3.
Okay, go around altitude as 3,000 feet.
Bang. 100 above.
Checked. Landing checklist.
4. Minimum ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Continue.
Check.
Yeah, a bit chaotic there. I was a bit late with everything, but all nicely under control. No problems at all. Flare. Retard. Reverse idle.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel.
Where is Bravo? I think that's
70 knots.
Not this one, but the next one. Manual braking. And if I'm not wrong, this is Bravo. There is the terminal. Yeah, my pedals work like nothing ever happened. Very strange. strange flight, but I think that's part of doing your first video, first recording. I've been thinking of doing this for so long, and then finally I started doing it, but well, it came with some hiccups. Let's see how the return flight goes. Let me know in the comments if you want to see the return flight too. If it's not uploaded by them. Yeah, by disarming the spoilers on FS2 crew, you tell the first officer basically to clean up the plane and start the APU. You can also delay the start of the APU if you have a long taxi for you. Yeah, I won't choose a parking stand now via GSX, although I could. Parking 12 suitable parkings. Well, let's see where 3 is. 3 is a nice number. No, I don't like that. I'll take just any of the gates, and then or maybe check which one. Ah, here we have numbers. 11, 10, 9, 8, something like this. Let's see what GSX can give us. Let's do 7. That's a nice number too. Show me this spot. Yeah, let's do 7. Okay. GSX. Parking. Stand 7. No. Al Burhan, why not? This is 8. And this is 7. After landing checklist. Oops. After landing checklist. After landing checklist.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist completed.
Shutdown engine 2. Taxi lights off. Okay, we're late with everything. I think we blinded him a bit with our taxi lights, but at least we made sure weather radar and wind shear prediction were off. Okay, we have arrived. Parking brake. APU is on. Oops. APU is on. Turn off the engine. Parking checklist.
Cabin crew disarm doors.
Yeah, no parking checklist yet. Okay, and 2 is below 20%. We can turn the beacon to off. And why is there no parking checklist? Deboarding. Parking checklist.
Cabin crew disarm doors.
Yes, but okay. Let's do it without FS2 crew. Parking brake or chocks are set, engines are off, fuel pumps. Yeah, usually the first officer turns them off too. And have I done something? Why? Okay, so I'll turn them off, no problem. And yellow electric pump is off. So, yeah, everything is behaving strange today. I don't know why. The jet bridge also doesn't come on. But yeah, I have this scenery. I don't have a GSX profile for this scenery, so maybe that's the reason. I didn't find one. If you know where I can find a GSX profile for Basra, let me know in the comments. So on ground we put this to 2000. Let's see what the passengers are doing. Oh, they are still sitting there, although they should be disembarking. Yeah, deboard. Yeah, they are disembarking, but visually they are still sitting there. Lots of strange stuff today. We have external power, so let's at least turn the APU on. And then I'll be working on my turnaround and my flight back, so maybe see you in a second video for our evening flight from Basra to Sharjah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, or I hope you saw some things where I can learn from. In that case especially, let me know in the comments. Anything you want me to do different, let me know as well. If you think I did some things well and you're a nice person, then you can let me know as well. Comments don't have to be negative. And I hope to see you back again soon. If I don't see you within the next week, already a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But more videos coming up, and yeah, I'll do my best to do them as valuable as possible for myself and for you. Thank you.